Good morning, welcome to the Qijin ferry. I'm going over to my favorite place, which is Qijin Island, and I'm going to explore the little lanes and alleyways that I don't normally go down. In this video I'm going to share my gear setup and how I use it, and I'm also going to share with you some of my thought processes. Okay, let's talk about gear. This is a typical loadout that I would carry for like a few hours shooting around the town. So switch back over to this view. So here we have the Wotancraft Pilot 7 litre. I like this bag a lot because it has space to put the iPad Pro with the Magic Keyboard case. It fits really nicely. I divide the main compartment into three. The left hand side has power bank and cables. Camera lives in the middle. On the right side I keep the DJI Pocket 3, and the tripod with the extra battery goes on this side. One thing I wish Wotancraft would do, and that is include more dividers. As you can see, I've used a divider from another bag to split these up into two, because a lot of the gear, it's, you know, I don't like it bashing together. I like to keep it separate. So on the front of the bag here, hidden by the flap, is a zipper, and inside of this front compartment, so it's a spacious front compartment with enough space to put some extra things. There's two internal mesh pockets. The right side I keep a AirPods Pro and the little flash that come with the Leica. On the left side I've got a Crucial X9 Pro SSD and a PGY Tech card mate, I think it's called, the card reader and memory card storage. And that pretty much is most of the bag here. On the right side I have there's a pocket. One criticism of the bag is this pocket's very tight to get your hand in. In here I keep some things like insect bite treatment and lip balm. And there's also a plastic bag in here for when I go to the store. I often use this pocket while I'm walking around just to put the DJI Pocket 3. I'll just slot it inside here, so I don't have to keep opening and closing the bag to get it out, you know, when I'm shooting. There's another pocket on this side that I don't think I've entered in at the moment, but you could put your keys in there, you could put something like that. It will take a water bottle, but a small water bottle. There's also this pass-through at the front. There's a pass-through that you can put your hand straight the way through the front there, and you could put like a mini tripod in there or something similar. Inside of here there's another pocket that is hidden inside there. I'll just keep an air tag in there so that I can, if it gets stolen or if I lose my bag, hopefully I could find it. What else should I say? On the back there's another flat pocket, which makes it ideal for putting your passport or other paperwork inside, and there's a luggage pass-through if you want to put this on top of a suitcase. And an added thing that I put on was this hero clip. The hero clip is very useful if you're traveling on public transport or you're in the bathroom and there's no hook. You can use this. Let me just take it out. You can use this to hang up your bag from something, or even on a table you can hang it so it doesn't get in the way. Nice. So that concludes the gear. If you have any questions about the gear, just leave them in the comments below. I like this shot. This is one of the ones taken on the ferry on the way over. Reflection shot, obviously, and I like how the different people all kind of work together. Kaohsiung is the largest port in Taiwan, and the harbour is often filled with quite sizable vessels like this. And in the background on the right we see the lighthouse. I got chatting to these Vietnamese students on the ferry, and I quite like this shot of them. Cute. Here I'm trying to set the scene, so you know, you can see the 85 tower back in the distance there, but you can also see the people on the ferry, so it's kind of
a documentary shot, which is the style that I like. A rather strange composition here, but you can see the ship disappearing into the distance, and you can also see the lighthouse, the ferry that we're on, and one of the passengers departing. Just off the ferry, and I noticed in the street there is a funeral taking place. Well, when I say a funeral, this is what they put near the homes of the recently deceased.
It looks like they're painting a lot of these houses, which actually looks really good. I'm very impressed with what they're doing here. This is right on the harbour front here in Qijin. So yeah. Actually, while I'm talking about Qijin, I need to actually discuss my pronunciation of the word. I was trying to tell somebody that this is my favourite place, and they just couldn't understand when I said Qijin. Apparently, Qijin. That could still be wrong, by the way, but there you go. How you pronounce something in Chinese is very important, the tones and so on.
It's important to capture little detail shots that show how people live.
This is the main street of Qijin, but obviously I'm trying to avoid the main street today. I'm just going to go down the smaller streets, and I'm looking for people and for architecture that catches my eye. And I mean, one of the characteristics of Qijin are these electric buggies that people rent to ride around the island on. They are doing a lot of redevelopments. I seem to remember there being a lot of old houses here, and this used to go in. I think it went into the market as well. I'm going to go a bit further to see, but it looks like the old indoor market that was here is now gone. Which this puts the value onto street photography and documentary photography, because if we don't take photographs of this stuff and it gets knocked down, it's gone forever, right? So I think it's important that we continue to photograph the stuff that we like, you know, because one day it'll not be there anymore. So actually, yeah, I was wrong. The market is in here, in this. But I'm going to go through, but I think it looks pretty close. I don't know if that's because of the day. Oh, Mondays. Yeah, it's Monday today. So often on Mondays, markets and so on are often closed. Here is a noodle company. They actually make the noodles with the machine over there on the left. I'm going to set the camera to one-to-one crop, so a square for a while. I actually like to shoot in square, and I often find myself later on in post actually going back and changing it to square. So I think the square actually has a lot of benefits. You don't have to worry about landscape and portrait mode. You can just pick your camera up and shoot. Don't get me started on that new Fujifilm half thing, X half, where that just shoots vertical. I think that's such a waste of time. Fuji should be better employed making an X Pro 4, in my humble opinion. We have two of these mirrors, one here and one across the street. I'm trying to get them to work together. Also a couple of, kind of like these houses. I like these things that are small, compact and old. You know, like I said earlier on about back there, I guess eventually the whole of this will be redeveloped at some point and all this stuff will be lost. So I'd like to think my little archive of images will be useful to those in the future that want to look back and see how it was back in 2025. There's something about these small streets, these communities, it just makes me want to photograph them. The people, the places. Yeah. And yeah, everyone is very chilled out, very kind. I've never had anybody come running out their house and go, "Hey, what you doing?" You know. And again, once you get into these little alleyways, the sun seems, because obviously now it's in June 2025 if you're watching from the future, the sun is more or less straight down. See my hand? Straight down. Yeah, so the light finds its way into these alleyways and then creates these very harsh shadows, which is what I like a lot. Photography is about the quality of light and looking for how the light interacts with different surfaces. Now, because the sun is coming straight from above, it's hitting this wall like 90 degrees almost. So it really brings out the textures, and you can see the shadows from the cables that are pinned to the wall. And I find that makes a really pleasing photograph. Patterns of shadows on the floor. Again, it creates kind of an semi-abstract. We can still see what it is, but you know, it's cool. A little mini temple. This little mini temple is apparently of the 7 ancestral teachers. There looks a lot more than 7 there, but who's to argue with the lady that just told me? So what might look like an ordinary little scene here, a tiny temple, has some other things to see if you take the time just to look around the details. We have some fish drying in the sun. And if we go closer to the temple, I don't usually take photos of scooters, but this one, the colour of the scooter is the same as the bench, so I thought it was worth a shot. I never point the camera inside someone's house because obviously it's just not polite. If it's a temple, that's different, but if it's, you know, a house, no. Choice of directions, left or right? I think I go right. And this brings me back to the main streets. I'm going to go into 7-Eleven, get a drink, and look at what the shoot has been so far. Cafe 拿戒冰的大杯对 eggs. I'll take some eggs too. These are like soft boiled eggs ready to eat. Good for carnivore.
And we've come to the end of another video. I'll put a few extra images here that I didn't put in the main video. Well, thank you very much for watching. Please give this video a like. It means a lot to me. And also consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. I really enjoy making these videos and I hope you guys find them useful. Please feel free to leave comments below, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.